NYC at Work logo. On a blue background sits an apple with a silhouette of a cityscape. Text reads, NYC at Work. Text below reads, it's what I can do that matters. Fade into old photograph of little girl smiling on a metal playground seahorse.
I knew from the time I could talk to my parents about school that I would be going to college.
Photograph of teenage girl wearing blue cap and gown standing in front of a brick building.
And originally I wanted to be a doctor, but organic chemistry and I didn't get along very well. So after a semester in college and hating chemistry more than I thought I could possibly hate anything on earth, I changed my major to economics.
Fade into shot of woman with short curly hair in front of two computer monitors.
My name's Ila Eckhoff. I'm a managing director at BlackRock.
Shot of Ila working at her desk. Shot from below looking up at large building. Tilt down to reveal base of building surrounded by professionally dressed men and women. Sign on the building reads, BlackRock.
BlackRock is the largest asset manager in the world. We have mutual funds, various investment vehicles that clients can invest in globally.
Inside the building, the office space is populated by cubicles full of people working. Cut to private office where Ila sits at her desk working. Her phone rings. She answers and continues speaking while working on her computer.
So I work in investment operations, so once the portfolio managers make a decision about what assets or investments they want to make, then all of those transactions need to be processed. Yep. And investment operations is responsible for all post-trade processing of all the trades that the portfolio managers execute.
Photograph of young Ila laying in bed with her hand holding her knee.
So I was diagnosed with cerebral palsy when I was 2. Cerebral palsy is actually damage to the cerebellum part of your brain. I was born 2.5 months premature. My mother hemorrhaged all the way to the hospital, and as a result of that loss, that oxygen deprivation, I ended up with cerebral palsy.
Ila grabs a cane from the corner of her office and uses it to walk in front of the camera. When she walks, she has a limp.
My particular condition is from the hips down, so I'm not afflicted from the waist up, but it's very much attached to my gait and my walking.
Photograph of young Ila laying in bed, smiling at the camera.
Growing up, I had multiple surgeries, up to about 12, different operations between the ages of 2 and 16. So I missed 3rd and 4th grade entirely. I was sort of homeschooled with tutors, and I managed to come back after that 2-year period ahead of the rest of my classmates. So I was determined to keep up. In my desire to keep up, I actually came back ahead.
Shot of Ila's feet walking. When she walks, she puts pressure on the outer edge of her feet. She stops outside of an elevator with 3 other people standing there waiting. The elevator doors open and she enters with the others.
When you have a disability and you want people to accept you as you, right? You don't want to be accepted because it's Ila Eckhoff who has cerebral palsy. I want to be accepted for who I am.
In the elevator, Ila smirks as the doors open again and she walks out in front of 2 businessmen.
So I spent my entire life trying to make my disability disappear, meaning I had to be better, smarter, faster.
Shot of Ila's feet from behind as she's walking, panning up as she enters the room. As others enter the room behind her, she walks to a table and sits down.
When people see me when I walk in the door with a cane and a gait that's different from everybody else's, I know they're making certain judgments whether they want to or not. So if I want to be looked at as an equal, I have to be better.
Tight shot of a notebook in the middle of the table. Tilt up to Ila's face as she is speaking to everyone at the table with a focused expression.
The desire to be the best or to truly believe that I could do anything that I set my mind to comes from my dad.
Photograph of Ila as a young girl sitting in a wheelchair. Behind the chair are her parents.
Growing up, if we went to see the doctor and the doctor said, we're going to do this operation and it's going to take you 6 months to a year to walk after we do it. And my dad would look at me and say, what do you say we do it in 3 months? Okay. So we just set the goal and go from there. We didn't necessarily make the goal, but that push, that really, it wasn't just my dad, it's my mother too. Like, my parents really believed that I could do anything. All I had to do was decide that I wanted to do it, but I had to believe it.
Photograph of young Ila sitting with her mother. They both smile and look at the camera. Photo of Ila on a horse. 2 other people, indistinguishable, face away from the camera, steadying the horse.
I think the way children in general internalize belief is the parents have to believe it first, right? You have to give that, in a sense, like a gift to your child. So I do the same thing with my daughter.
Shot of school photograph of Ila's daughter on her desk.
Right? She knows I expect great things from her, but I believe in the power that she brings to everything that she does.
Shot from behind Ila's office chair as she works. Pan over to see a newspaper clipping on her wall. Tighter shot of the clipping shows Ila sitting with her daughter. Title of the article reads, "Mom's the Word."
When you grow up with a disability and then you have kids of your own, it changes your outlook. My daughter is different because she's grown up with a mother with a disability. I'm different from having her. You work that much harder. I mean, I want everything for her.
Shot of Ila working at her desk with family photos in the background. Cut to framed photo of Ila and her daughter when they were younger.
At BlackRock, I care about the financial markets because I am an investor. In addition to being an employee of BlackRock, I'm an investor that cares about my family's future as well. So the more I know, the better I can be at it.
A woman sits in Ila's office on the opposite side of her desk as they go over paperwork.
When I started at BlackRock, we were only 400 people. Now we're roughly 13,000, so the firm has gone through many transformations. But after 16 years, I really do feel like BlackRock's my home. So I don't necessarily see myself going somewhere else, but that doesn't mean I'm not looking forward to what comes next. The market is always changing, and I'm looking to change with it.
Ila on the phone. She hangs up, goes back to work, and laughs.
At BlackRock, it's what I can do that matters.
Fade to NYC at Work logo. Text fade over logo. To find out what you can do, visit us at nyc.gov/atwork or dial 311. Credits. Audio description by Jonathan Novick. Produced by Jonathan Novick, Mayor's Office for People with Disabilities logo. Special thanks to Ila Eckhoff, BlackRock staff, Abraham Axler, Heesong Park, and Downtown Community Television Center. Music courtesy of AudioJungle.net, Sweet Inspiration by Quantum Loop. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at NYC Disabilities.